Okay, screw it. We're gonna go down to Port Cornelia and Adams Way, maybe Varchus. Yeah, so we have this much fuel and stuff, we may as well try to get some echoes out of the trip with port reports and whatnot. And maybe in Adams Way we'll get another lamentable relic. Just, you know, avoid the storm sailing between these whirlpools. We're fine. It's fine. I mean, we could just take the slightly boring way out and buy Sunless fruit here. Like, on one hand, I want to keep exploring the Mangrove College. On the other, let's see, we could buy... I think each set of Foxfire candles was 40 echoes, so we could buy 6 sets of those, and after that we've about broken even on what we would have spent just getting it here. Okay, well, we probably will keep exploring anyway, because I want to know what else might be in that swamp. But we are going to just buy one, because I am slightly worried that if we take too much time, the brisk campaigner might just die. Climb the stairs cut into the hill. Sit at the foot of the bee-capped stone columns. They will shield you from the southern mountain heat. Be quiet. Listen. Old storytellers share the shadow. The Prester is on the verge of declaring the Dawn Machine a blasphemy. London's bureaucracy is riddled with the children of the Thief of Faces. An expedition of foreigners recently put to shore in the west and then went south in search of the garden. They were discovered and given to the Red River. Okay, it's a nut, I guess. I'm gonna try to catch it. Yeah, we gain lamentable relics, so actually we want to fail. Fruitless. The branch is too far, the nut too small, your hand too slow. When it strikes the paved square, the nut bursts into brief, pointless life. Thread-like shoots squirm out, groping for water. Desperate roots claw at a crack in the stone. It's no good. Its strength spent, the shoot browns, stiffens, and expires. Okay, I swear I never actually caught one before, and now we've caught 2 of the 3 times we've tried. And now we can't catch anymore. Dang it. Well, I'm sure we'll fail at it again eventually, and then we'll be able to make another piece of the Song of the Sea. Attend a funeral feast, a public square, a gathering of the bereaved, uncannily cheerful, a table shining with cutlery, white china plates, tall glasses. You move in for a better look. The replete occupy lofty positions in presbyterians and military. Despite their sanguinary past, they dine with the Prester and send their children to be educated at London's university. However, they maintain their tradition of eating their dead. The feasts are held in public. Here in the broad square stretches a splendid table. The departed was only a distant relative, some great aunt or second cousin, and the atmosphere is jolly. Servants carry the deceased over in steaming joints, cooked to perfect pinkness. A stately mourner stands, already wobbly from wine. Shall I carve? So we can gawk, as the tourist we are. We can steal scraps from the table, but that would only be if we weren't already, you know. Okay, if you're to be a guest of honor, you need to be an uber cannibal. Okay. And it would increase our veil, so I actually now have an encouragement to keep doing this. Wonderful. Accept an invitation to dine. The feasters recognize something about you. They add an extra chair to the end of the table. Made welcome, you make polite conversation with a half-deaf aunt. The cuts that reach you are lean, but still pink, still succulent. You clean your plate. Afterwards, you're given a keepsake, a knob of bone, engraved with the date. You accept it with good grace. Is that one of your crew among the gawkers watching you with horrified eyes? Oh, hey, lamentable relic! Cool. Oh, we're a terrible person. So I'll go ahead and show you guys real quick what happens if you sail down this way. I believe it will start damaging your hull a bit before it does anything too awful. So you can come down here a little bit to discover the Dark Griffin Straits. As you can see, the water is turning more and more and more red. Only living ships may dare enter Adam's Way and survive. Your hull shudders and crackles as the water grips it. Yeah, that's the game telling you, hey, if the freaky red water wasn't enough of a clue, turn around. So yeah, I guess you need a living ship. I'm going to assume that there's a way to get that, because why would they make it seem like it's maybe possible to venture there if they weren't going to do that? But that's as far as we can get right now. I'm pretty sure your ship will just start taking a crap ton of hull damage. As you can see, we took a little bit just going that far. And you just end up getting destroyed if you keep trying to push it. And of course, there's going to be one friggin' square there. That's just going to drive me absolutely bonkers. We'll get that one eventually. Speak to more people, because, you know, there were people that we didn't get a chance to talk to last time we were here, so... The white cloaked guard. The suns embroidered on his cloak are picked out with gold thread, and the edge is jeweled with carnelian. Tomas. He presses his hands together in greeting, then gives you an anguished look. You look terrible. Are you sick with a terrible outsider's disease, or is that what your nose is naturally like? Okay, I think we did talk to him before. Because, yeah. He points you to the hospital. Okay, next time we're talking to the fungal carter, I guess. Well, let's go to the hospital, since he does point us there quite early, so it feels like the game is wanting us to head there. Are you feeling a little fevered? Do you hope to learn medical secrets? Or perhaps you just enjoy the moans and flushed faces of the sick and suffering. Okay then. The charitable hospital is a long, galleried building divided into a series of curtained wards in their own light, with their own light sources in mirror series. A dour-faced nurse glances at you expectantly. Which ward are you here to visit? The fungal infections ward, the mirrorless room, the open ward. Offer services of the brisk campaigner. You've won her trust. She's prepared to come ashore. Offer the services of the haunted doctor, who we haven't won his trust, so he won't come in. But let's offer the services of the brisk campaigner. Although, considering she's not cured... Oh, let's try it. The dour-faced nurse watches you carefully as you assist the campaigner in cleaning wounds and changing bandages. She gives you a satisfied nod. The guards are pleased to have a new attendant and call you Nurse Tomas with warm, welcoming mockery, which makes you feel part of their crew. They try the same thing with the campaigner, but only very briefly. You see the campaigner and the nurse exchange a glance of challenging, cordial respect. Good work, the dour-faced nurse says at the end of your shift, handing you each a cup of steaming mushroom tea. It revives you greatly. Do you detect a hint of tree sap liquor at the bottom of the cup? And something else. Something of the south. Holy. Okay, the nurse approves of us. We've lost a little bit of terror and gained one memory of distant shores, but we also gained 1 hearts, 1 iron, 1 mirrors, and 5 fragments. But that was the entire day. Still, very nice. Yeah, we can't offer her services again, so no more free stats for us, but I want to see what else is here. Well, let's... The mirrorless room. Okay. The ward is locked several times over, and the dour-faced nurse looks uncomfortable when you mention it. This is where we keep the mirror mad, she says with a shudder. The mirrors whispered to them, and instead of going to the sun priests, they whispered back. And you just abandoned them in a locked room. We don't despise them. They are given food and water. Tending the mirror mad uses up almost as much fuel as Mahir's temple, because they can only be lit with direct lamplight. We don't dare let them near any mirrors. She shudders again. The mirror mad are worse than Tomas. They no longer serve Mahir, but other powers. Those that speak in dreams and visions. She refuses to say anything else. the fungal infections ward. They keep it cool and closed off. The doctors and nurses all wear masks when they enter. How bad could a fungal infection be? The dour-faced nurse ties a mask around your face before leading you into the ward, which is set over 2 floors. The first thing you notice are the patient's constant racking coughs. We give them syrups and remedies, the nurse tells you, but lung bloom is a chronic condition. Coughing is the only symptom in the milder cases, but as you walk further in, you begin to see hands and feet covered in mold, and then chests budding with little mushroom cups and lichen, and even a young girl with a fringed red-orange fungal flower blooming in place of an eye. It's the fungus harvester's disease, the dour-faced nurse tells you sadly, pulling you away. It only gets worse in the heat and light, but what can we do? The open ward. You see patients sprawled on their beds, playing card games and chatting to visitors. Most of them have minor injuries. Most of these wounds happened outside the city, on hunting expeditions or trade missions, the dour-faced nurse explains severely, raising her voice, which is why most of these malingerers are guards. The patient nearest to her pretends to swoon. But what would I do away from your gentle, tender gaze, O fair nurse? He clasps his hands to his bosom. Surely I would wither and perish. We'll see who withers when I give you your sponge bath, she retorts, and her patient draws up his blankets meekly, though his mouth still curves up in a smile. The inn's cook makes thick spiced stews of fungus flowers and lotus root, eaten with chunks of boiled cassava and rice imported from inland. But it is the light, hungry fruit grown in the city which makes your mouth water. Tart-scented oranges and bruised yellow bananas, pineapples bursting with juice, tender coconuts with silky white flesh scooped out and sap sweet on the tongue. Do you not eat meat, you ask in wonderment, and the inn's cook calls to Mahir for strength. It is forbidden to eat the flesh of living creatures, he says. Lucky the Varchasi don't fancy the seafaring life. Yeah, we're just gonna submit to the smoke dreams. The bed is comfortable, but the mirrors are watchful. Once again, your dreams are full of whispering, glittering smokes. Mirror vapors that coil into reflection-warping shapes. You see your limbs bend, your skin slough, your eyes twist. You writhe awake with a cry. It's worse. Each time, it's worse. Okay, terror's starting to run a bit high. But I think we can go to Estival and then go back through the outer shroom and start heading back at that point. We'll be okay. The King Eater's Castle, which appears to have a lot of golden ships around it. We're just gonna have to take the freaking terror jumping, which is not good, but we only have so much fuel here. An old veracity lives here in the far reaches of the sea. The priests are long gone, but sacrifices are still made. Perhaps you've come here to make a sacrifice. Perhaps the sacrifice is you. Okay, oh my lord, alright, one moment. Compile a port report. Silence, desolation, the sense of an impending and terrible mistake. Everything is horrible. It's not really an appropriate title for a formal report, is it? Let's find something a little more clinical. The sixth witness, a woman in rags, stands on the battlements, staring to the east. Startled by your approach. I'm sorry, I didn't expect anyone else to be here. Sit with me. No, do not look east. I only dare because I know I will see nothing, like the 5 before me. It is my first time at Z. We do not get out much, but you must have traveled far to end up here. Tell me your stories. You barely begin before she interrupts. How about the Gant pole? They say there you could see the future. If you go, could you ask what the 7th will witness? I happily give my life to prepare the ground, but to know would be the greatest of honors. Okay. Lose your mind. Offer your thoughts at the altar. You need terror no more than 20. Do not do this. And yet they let you do it. Eat your crew. Not all of them will go easily. Do not do this. This will destroy all your crew and any human or near human officers. The struggle will wound or even kill you. Construct the Fulgent Impeller. Under directions from the mechanic, your crew placed the slabs of black ivory together, as the ancients were said to assemble stone walls without mortar. Sometimes they must saw a piece in half, or abrade its sides to make it fit, but the work proceeds with surprising speed. The impeller begins to take shape, a squat, heavy, stout-shouldered shape, like a scarecrow built to resemble an engine. I don't think this is engineering anymore, the mechanic confides. Possibly it's witchcraft, but I don't really mind. He rubs his hands. So yeah, we'll have to bring that here eventually, but we do not have everything we need for that yet. Offer your stories, all of them. What is one more departure among so many? This may take you elsewhere, at the cost of all your Z stories. Choose it only if you are desperate to be somewhere else. Put a blimmigan ashore. It's quivering. What does the act of burning faith do? Like, how much does it give us for one supply and one fuel? I don't want to give up the fuel. I think we'll manage.